68 years ago, Allied forces liberated this death camp in Auschwitz. Today, 120 delegates from around 50 countries, members of the European Jewish Parliament, came here to remember the dead. Just before you enter the Auschwitz Concentration Camp, you get a real reality check. There stands a mall with the H&M, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Shawarma Restaurant. The place that once stood for death and destruction is now fruitful ground for retail. As you pass through the camp, you cannot forget for a moment how helpless the Jewish people were just over 60 years ago, and how from the ashes of Auschwitz, a nation of survivors raised that now can hold its own ground with the biggest and the worst on the planet. Our Polish tour guide, Katarzyna Wobel, shares with us a fascinating factoid about the number of visitors who come to the camps every year.
The number of visitors last year reached 1,430,000 people. Historians estimated that at least 1.1 million people perished in the Auschwitz camps. So, as you said, it's more visitors than victims of Auschwitz, which is very important, and every year, as we notice, the number is higher. So it shows people are interested in seeing Auschwitz, learning about Auschwitz, and as we always say, we hope that also want to learn from Auschwitz for the future.
Members of the Jewish European Parliament held a vigil in remembrance of the 6.5 million who perished in the Holocaust, chanting Kaddish as everyone lit a candle to remember a loved one. We wanted to get some first-hand testimony from some of the young members of the Parliament about their experience.
Coming to Auschwitz is not just coming remembering dead people, it's also coming, to me, it's also coming to remember Jewish life, and Jewish life is the present. This is not history.
It's impossible to describe. I think about all my people from my family that died here, and all people from my nation that died here, and it's impossible to describe even the thought, the feeling that you have here. I never had such feelings in no place.
It's always hard to come to the Jewish concentration camp. I was here many times, and the place, the buildings do not make me feel so bad as it was in the first or second time. I do not have such a strong emotions like other people, but what makes me cry or what makes my heart, squeezing is when I look at the other people, when I look how they see the camp for the first time.
For me to be here with all the representatives of each European country, like being a big family to remember what happened to our people and to be all together, like to fight for this that will never exist again.
I think it's extremely important, whether it is for Jewish young people who, to remember, especially they had family killed here, as well as for non-Jewish. We saw 2 classes today in the other camp in Auschwitz, and I think it's extremely important because they don't know anything about this. They hear in their countries about Holocaust denial. Did this ever happen? And here you see this happened. You see the truth. You see the building, and you see the hair. You see all of this, and you see. And for them, I think it's extremely important, especially at the time where there are less and less people alive who can actually testify.
I couldn't resist asking our guide, who has been guiding tours at the death camps for the past 15 years, how she walks through the cell every single day of the week.
I feel that what I do is the only thing I can do for the people who died in Auschwitz. I cannot do anything else. But as you said, I'm a human being with also my own emotions, and it's like walking on the edge. It's keeping balance between being emotional as a human being, as a guide, and because people who come to Auschwitz deserve a living history, not a record, not guide just repeating facts and dates. But on the other hand, I try to be immune because I have to be back again and again in the horrible place. So it's like keeping balance in emotions.
It is impossible not to think what the people who were here during the Holocaust felt on those cold winter days. We are here with coats, but they had nothing. I am a 3rd-generation Auschwitz survivor. My grandmother Nadia was here, and I feel today like I have triumphed, like the Jewish people have triumphed. For JN1, I'm Jacobsohn in Auschwitz, Birkenau.